वंशी विभूषितकरान्नवनीयदाभात् पीताम्बराधरुणबिम्बफलाधरोष्ठात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखाद् अरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने. Welcome to the Uddhava Gita class, and we are taking up after many weeks. And as you see, it's being done from Toronto itself. After traveling many places, I came back. So we are on page 23 of the Uddhava Gita by Swami Madhavananda ji. It's the chapter 2 and verse 13 we'll start today. Previously, how Sri Krishna told Uddhava about the qualities of the person who can find realization. Dosha buddhya, the 11th verse number 11 that we studied last time. Dosha buddhya ubhayatito nishedhana nivartate guna buddhya cha vihitam nakaroti yatharvaka. The person of realization becomes like a child, and he doesn't do any evil and also performs only good. But like a child, when he does desist from evil, it's not because of fear of something wrong. Just it happens because he has been so purified, nothing wrong can happen from that person. And when he does something good, it is not because he wants to get some merit from that. But why does he do good then? It just happens by that person, like a child doing something. So he becomes like a child without any intention. He works in this world, but only good happens by that person. And no evil, no bad ever happens by the person of realization. He gives the quality of Sthita Pragya or a true devotee. That's what Sri Krishna does. Verse 11 we had last time. And he gives in the 12th verse, Sarva Bhuta Shurit Shanto Jnana Vijnana Nischaya. He said, such a person, the true devotee or a realized soul, is a Sarva Bhuta Surit. He is friend to every being. And by that, mm, by that making everyone as his friend, nobody is his enemy, adversity. No one. Others may be adverse to that person, him or her. But this person, the devotee of God, is Sarva Bhuta Shurit. He is friendly to everyone. He wishes good for all. There is no one that is adverse, inimical, nothing, hateful, no one. There's all qualities have gone from that person. When a person is so much friendly, Sarva Bhuta Surit. Surit is that type of person, that type of friendliness. When your heart has become good, and you only can think of good about others, not mitra, bandhu, surit. These are different as if synonyms of friend. But mitra is one who comes together and does something good to some person, and surit is like by from his very heart he just opens and does good to others. There is no other intention. Bandhu is relation in close like that. So surit is the best among all the different types of terms from the friend. And what type of surit? He is friendly to all. Sarva Bhuta Surit. And such a person becomes Shanta, free from all agitation, all desire. Such a person is realized person. He is free from all desires, all agitation, disturbance, all are gone from his mind and action. So Shanta, Jnana Vijnana Nischaya. He is firmly established in Jnana and Vijnana, in knowledge and realization, in the knowledge of from the truth of the scripture, and he has or she has realized that knowledge. So by being that, he is firmly established in the knowledge and realization. And when such a person, what happens? What does he see? Pashyan madatmakam vishwam. That person, Pashyan mad atmakam vishwam. How does he look upon or she look upon the world? like Mad Atmakam, like one embodiment of myself. The whole world for that person is God Himself, nothing else. It's all God. Universe is God. Everywhere it is God. Pasyan Madatmakam Vishwam Vipatteta Vaina Vipatteta Vai Na Vipatteta Vaipuna. That person doesn't get any bipad. Bipad is sometimes we use like difficulty, but here bipad is transmigration. Nothing bad befalls upon such a person. He doesn't go through transmigration. That person is liberated. That person has attained the goal of life, has realized God, no bipad. Otherwise, there is bipad, otherwise danger, difficulty every moment in life. Until we have realized that whole universe is God and everyone is looked upon with friendly eyes. Until then, there is bipad, there is a difficulty, there is problem, there is challenge, there is slip and fall. So such a person never falls, not bipad. And such a person has no transmigratory life. After death, he is not reborn. He merges with God, he merges with truth. So that is what is said in the previous verse. Now, Shuka says, this today will begin from verse 13. The Shuka says, इत्यादिष्टो भगवता महाभागवतो नृप उद्धव प्रणिपत्याह तत्व जिज्ञासुरच्युतम. So Nipa, O king, because Shuka is saying this to Parikshit. And he says, Parikshit and Nipa, O king, ityadisto bhagavata, such being told by Bhagavata, by God. God told this, Mahabhagavato Nripa. To Mahabhagavata is the devotee, Mahabhagavata. Devotee and Bhagavata means God, by the God it has been said, and Mahabhagavata is like the devotee. Bhagavata, similar. Bhagavata is the conversation about God, and also it is the devotee, the great devotee. With that great devotee, God tells. Bhagavata told to whom? Mahabhagavata. Mahabhagavata Uddhava. The great devotee Uddhava is told by God this thing. God Himself tells this. And what does Uddhava do after hearing this great message of perfected person and how to get that perfection that Sri Krishna says? Uddhava pranipatyaha. He prostrates to Sri Krishna. Then he tattva jigyasu achyutam. To achyutam, to Sri Krishna is tattva jigyasu, desirous of knowing the truth. Tattva, knowing the truth. Then he speaks. Now Uddhava, after hearing this, he prostrates to Sri Krishna, the God himself, who told such wonderful word, O king, O Parikshit. Then Uddhava asks the questions. He speaks to Sri Krishna. Uddhava Uvacha. Uddhava said. What did Uddhava say? Uddhava praises Sri Krishna. He knows who Sri Krishna is. Uddhava is the devotee of God who knows Sri Krishna as the supreme God, and there is no adjective that can complete Sri Krishna's qualities. So Uddhava speaks one after another adjectives to Sri Krishna, but he feels he is not fully describing Krishna. Krishna is so great, and he says, Uddhava says, योगेश योग विन्यास योगात्मन योग संभव निश्रेयसाय में प्रोक्त त्याग संन्यास लक्षण. O Lord, Yogesha, Lord of yogas, all yogas, you are the Lord. You are the very repository of all yoga. You are the master of all yoga. So you are Yogesha. Yoga Vinyasa. All yogas are concentrated in you. Nyasa is to put something, and Vinyasa to put more and fully, and Yoga Vinyasa. All yoga is put in you. All yogas are concentrated in you. You are the Lord of yoga because all yogas are under your control. And you are the repository of all yoga. Yogatma. In fact, you are not the only repository. You are Yogatma. Your very being is yoga. You are the embodiment of yoga. You are yoga itself. That's Yogatma. Yoga Sambhava. And yoga originates from you. You are the origin of the yoga, you are the embodiment of yoga, you are the lord of yoga, and you are the concentration. All yogas are concentrated in you. So that is the Sri Krishna being described by Uddhava. First he says, before asking the question, he said, what I understand you regarding yoga is that you are the embodiment of yoga. So I can learn yoga from you. If I want to unite with God, you are the one who will guide me, because you are there. Full concentration of yoga is in you, and you are the origin of yoga. You are the Lord of yoga. You are the embodiment of yoga. Uh, that what is said in the Bhagavad Gita, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara. In one word, at the end, the last verse of the Bhagavad Gita, it is said by Sanjaya that Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara. He said Yogeshwara Krishna. Here it says, he is not only Yogesha or Yogeshwara, he is Yoga Sambhava, Yoga Vinyasa, Yogatma. That all is nothing but yoga. Sri Krishna is the embodiment of yoga. That's what Uddhava says in so many words, and not even he will not be satisfied by describing Sri Krishna who he is. Now he says, Nishreyasaya me prokta tyaga sannyasa lakshana. You have you are so kind, Lord. You taught me about the Nishreyasa, about the mukti through tyaga and sannyasa, through renunciation and detachment. How one can have Nishreyasa. There are two goals of humanity according to Sanatana Dharma, got into Hinduism. One is called Abhyudaya, another is Nishreyasa. Shreyasa means the best. Shreya. Hmm. Shreya is the best. So something to be achievable, good. So Nishreyasa is a best, perfectly best. Ultimately the best. What is that? That is mukti. There's nothing better than mukti, freedom, the best. So Nishreyasa is that freedom from this transmigratory cycle, birth and death, freedom from all that, freedom from delusion, freedom from ignorance, freedom from bondage, freedom from suffering. All these are this suffering and bondage. All these are linked to ignorance, that we don't know who we are, and we think this objective world is real, and then we get bound to it. When we understand objective world as just ephemeral or show or dream like, then there is no bondage. Freedom has been attained. So that's what is called freedom. So when to attain freedom was called Nishreyasa. That is one goal of human life, ultimate goal. Hinduism doesn't say Nishreyasa is the only goal of human life. It says there are two goals. In the Vedas it is said. Another goal is Abhyudaya. Abhyudaya is progress. Progress in the world, success, achievement, getting perfection in worldly dealing, efficacy, demeanor, all that comes under Abhyudaya, and prosperity in life. You have enough to live a decent life in this world. All this is called Avyudaya. The goal of human life is to attain Avyudaya when you are young, and Nishreyasa flowing through that Avyudaya path. You are striving for Avyudaya, for worldly prosperity you are striving. But the ultimate goal is not dried up in you. You know that ultimately this all that I am trying to achieve through my good family life, or my this scholarship in life, or the accumulation of wealth or anything, this all are temporary, and ultimately I have to gain that nishreyasa, that liberty, that moksha is the one that is cherished, ultimately cherished. So through abhyudaya flows the desire for There is the subtle, this hankering for nishreyasa flowing when you are striving even for abhyudaya. So certainly it happens. So brahmacharya, um, garhastya, then banaprastha, and then comes the life of sannyasa. Then when grihastha life is done, you have the life of productivity, a life of householder. When you earned, spent, donated, had name, lived a very decent life, life of joy, because of your good character, conduct, self-restraint, control of your mind and senses, and healthy body, healthy mind. With that, you live the life of joy, successful life. Though you wanted that worldly success of view there, still, when that is done, now you are getting old. Hmm? Then retired, your progeny has taken up your job. Now you don't have much to do. The energy in the body has also gone less. Mind is also become less active. Reflection has gone less. Now you have slowly withdrawn from the world. And where to withdraw? Where to go? Withdrawn from the world towards the reality, to achieve something, to achieve the freedom, to achieve the goal of life. Abhyudaya is not the ultimate goal of life. Ultimate goal of life is nishreyasa, the ultimate realization, what is called God realization. That's what the nishreyasa means. So nishreyasa yame prokta. So Uddhava says, you taught me about nishreyasa, about the ultimate freedom. And how to do that? Tyaga sannyasa lakshana. That through renunciation and through detachment, how can one realize God? So you taught me that, O Lord. So I'm so grateful to you. Still, then he says, you taught the ultimate. That is ultimate nishreyasa. But am I fit to be that? People like me, many are there in the world. Perhaps Uddhava is definitely fit to have sannyasa, no doubt. But he is thinking about the people who are not yet fit to renounce everything. And yet, there should be something for them from Lord. So then he says, next verse he says, Tyagoyam duskaro bhuman. Bhuman means Bhuma is infinite. So he's addressing the Bhuma, the infinite, that's Bhuman. Oh, infinite. I am Tyaga Duskara. The renunciation, what you tell, this giving of all attachment and all friendly, only thinking about all, seeing the whole world as your embodied being. It is not easy to have that type of realization. So, because we are all individualistic, egoistic, that is the most of the human being, created human being are there. Is there any way, I want to hear from you, think for how they will attain liberation? Everyone is not totally detached from the world, free from all desires. There are people who have desires. So, kamanam vishayatmabhi. For whom it is difficult, duskara, this tyaga, I am tyaga, duskara, this type of renunciation and detachment is very difficult, extremely difficult for whom? Kamanam vishayatmabhi, who are attached to the thing and are desirous of the object of the world. Vishayatma, their soul is as where objects of the world is their soul. Their atma is Vishaya. So for such people, it is difficult. Oh Lord, oh infinite, you are infinite, I know. But those who cannot understand the infinity, neither they can conceive your infinitude, nor they can think of themselves as connected to the infinite or a pilgrim to the infinite. So for those who are Kamanam Vishayatmabi, who are a Vishaya Atma, who are embodied, objectified, attached to the objects of the world, for those who are desirous, Kamana, Sutarang Toi Sarvatman Nabhaktai Itime Mati. He says about himself. So for that, I have no Sutaram, I have no this faster, or I have no firm bhakti. I don't have this firm devotion to you. Still, I have that Vishaya Asakti, I have that. So, what about me? I have sannyasa, lakshana, and tyaga. It has not yet come to me. So, and I have not that devotion, twai bhakti iti me mati. My mind has not yet developed that devotion to you. So he's saying that sometimes they ask that, as you say, Sri Ramakrishna's prayer. So there is one of his master's prayer in the gospel where he says, I still have so many desires, oh mother, make me free from desire, and may I think of nothing but thee. And Sri Ramakrishna, for him, it was all Divine Mother. For what ignorance can be there? But still, Sri Ramakrishna says that prayer to the Divine Mother just to teach us how to pray to God. And like that, here also, Uddhava says this, that Sri Krishna, when he said to Uddhava about the great qualities of renunciation and detachment, because he is fit for that. But Uddhava's heart was so large. So he thinks about the people who are not in that position. He says, I have not yet gained that. Oh Lord, I means those who have not yet gone that. Sarvatman bhaktai iti me mati. So, O infinite Lord, I consider this renunciation of desires as difficult for worldly minded people, and the more so for those who are not devoted to thee, who are the self of all. So they have not attained that devotion to God. And Memati, he doesn't say, I am that attached to the world. This is my thought, this is my thinking, that those who are not devoted to you, what about them? So, is there any way out for those such people? So that's how large-hearted Uddhava asked the question on behalf of the people who are attached to the world, and yet who are not satisfied with the world, because world will never be satisfying thing. It is such a mirage that the more you get the things that you desire, the more you want. It is like the fire which is happy with having ghee. So it wants ghee, it's burning. And you pour ghee, it's very happy, it smiles, it blazes forth. And you said, oh, fire is so happy with ghee. Let me satisfy it with ghee. So little ghee is burned. So he pours on ghee. So it should be quenched this thirst of ghee. So, but fire will never be satisfied with ghee. Havisha Krishna Vartameva. There is one saying in the sloka that as you cannot satisfy fire with ghee, similarly you cannot satisfy human beings by fulfillment of desires. One desire fulfilled, other comes. So there is no cessation of desires, and desires will always be bubbling forth. One done, another comes. Another done, still more comes. So there is no satisfaction and cessation of desire in human beings. So they suffer. So for those, Uddhava is putting the question that is there any way for such persons? And what are they describes? So it first is a kamanam vishayatmavi. They are embodiment of vishaya, and they have so much of desires in their life. So I want something for them. Oh Sarvatman, oh the soul of all. After all, you are not the soul of only those who are having Nishreyasa Mukti. You are the soul of every being. You are the Sarva Bhuta Surit. You are the in the heart of everyone. So you are also in the people who are suffering because of worldliness. So for them, what is the way out? Soham mama aham iti mooda matir vigalas tvanmayaya virachitat manusanubandhe तत्त्वञ्जसा निगदितं भवता यथाहं संसाधयामि भगवन्ननुषादि भृत्यम्. I am but a fool. I am that person who is saying, I am the Sa, that person. I am but a fool being passionately attached to this body. So, aham mama, this comes with the body, that I, the body, mama, that is related with the body. All this, that person who thinks oneself as the body and thing related with the body as his or her, that person is mudha full, because person is not the body. Body is a part of this prakriti, this nature, and the person is the soul. He is the embodiment of chaitanya. He is the embodiment of divinity, divine. So how can he become body? So when one considers oneself as body, then that person is mudha. So that mudha mati and that vigadha, it is so firmly established, this foolishness or this delusion in that person, passionately attached to this aham mama. This is vigada, is passionately attached, and its branches, like when mama comes, so all this, his children, grandchildren, his objects, all this become my. All thing related to the body becomes his. So that person is totally in delusion. And such a person who is such deluded is mudha, is fool. And how did this happen? Who created this delusion in that person? It is which are the creation of thy Maya. So that's why it is said, Virachitatmani Swanmayaya Virachitatmani Sanubandhe. You created that Maya and then deluded your own beings, your own soul. So for them, what is the way out? Which are the creation of thy Maya? And considering these as I and mine. So this is the delusion that happens. Gently so instruct thy servant, that is Uddhava, O Lord, so that I can faithfully carry out what thou hast taught me. So I am bound to this world. Still, I am egoistic. I am deluded with the thought that I am this body and things related to this body are mine. This I and mine, ahamkara and mamakara, aham and mama. I, the body, and mama, things related to the body. Things related to the body, relations, children, grandchildren, the house, car, everything, objects, that all becomes mine, all connected with me. Me what? Not the soul me, not the Chaitanya Satta me, but this body me, connected to the body me, and I forgot my original true nature and consider this body as myself and things related to body as mine. So I and mine, this delusion, this foolishness created by thy Maya. So you told so nice things for the Nishreyasha Mukti. What about for these people? How can we realize truth? How can we find the blessedness of thy presence? How can we be? That's why he said yoga, yogesha, yogatma, yoga vinyasa. That's what he said, yoga sambhava. We want to be united with you. Everyone, until and unless connected with you, there is suffering. Away from God, detached from God, disconnected from God, suffering inevitable. And when we are connected with God, then there is peace and joy. So, how to get connected for such people? You told all wonderful things, but we are not at this stage. What about? What about for us? Any message, O Lord? Then he still says, so to go beyond Maya is also difficult. So Maya is, you created Maya and it's divine Maya and very powerful Maya. So to say, no, I am not the body, I am the soul, I am the consciousness, pure consciousness, this doesn't come at all. We are so much deluded. How deluded? By Maya. So powerful is the Maya. It is said in the Chandi, even the people of knowledge, they get deluded. Chetangsi Bhagavati Hisa. So even the Jnaninam api Chetangsi Bhagavati Hisa. Even the Jnanis get deluded by thy inscrutable power, O Bhagavati. So please protect us. That is what the power of Maya is. So he says, we are all bound by thy Maya. Please tell us something, O Lord, so that we also have yoga. We also, common people also, can have the bliss of being connected to you. Show some way. Satyasya se swadrisha atmana atmanotnyam vaktaramesha vibudhesvapi nanu chakshe sarve vimohita dhiyastava maya eme brahmadayastanu vrito bahirartha bhava. He says the difficulty of this Maya, how powerful is the Maya. O Lord, even among the gods, I find no other teacher of the self than thee, who are the self effulgent, the truth, the Atman. Satyasya swadrisha atmana atmanonyam. Oh, for me, Atmana, other than you, Atmanonyam, I don't find any Bhaktaram, any speaker, any teacher. Bhaktara it means teacher. So, who are you? You are Isha, you are the Lord, and you are Isha. Even Vibhudheshwapi Danu Chaksha. I don't see teacher like you among any gods. Vibudha means God. Na Anuchakshe, I cannot see. No one is visible. All gods also fall short. So, like Nachiketa said to Yama, when I have got you, the great teacher Yama, I must get knowledge of whether there is life after death or not. I must learn from you. There is no other teacher like you, says he got that Yama, the teacher of the Lord of Death. And he's asking whether there is soul after death or nothing remains after death. That was the question. Here is, how can we be connected with Lord, with the divine? How can we have the glimpse of our true self as the divinity? That's what he said. So you are self-effulgent. So you are and the truth. You are the Atman Anyam. I can see. For Brahma and other, like that, Brahma Dayastanu Bhrito Bahirartha Bhava. Even Brahma and others are embodied beings are deluded by thy Maya. Just see, even Brahma is deluded by thy Maya. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara are the three trinities, highest expression of that Brahman. So, Brahman, when it is seen through Maya, then it becomes Brahma. So, when we can see or think of Brahma, so it is through Maya. Within Maya, we can see. So, Brahma is also within the purview or domain of Maya. And what Brahma does, Brahma is the creator of this universe. So this universe is the creation of Maya. And Brahma also finds this objective world as the reality. So that's why when Madhu Kaitava came to eat Brahma, he was afraid, like anybody afraid of death. He told her, pray to Divine Mother, Mother, please wake up Vishnu. Otherwise, this Madhu and Kaitav are coming to eat me. What is there to eat? Who is there to eat? All is Brahman. So that knowledge is not there. There's always delusion because Brahma is a part of creation. Brahma is the creator for creation, but he is part of the creation, though he is the creator of the universe. So Brahma is also under your Maya. Your Maya is so powerful. Even Brahma, even the gods, they are under the domain of your Maya. So if we want to go beyond Maya, if we want to cross this iron curtain of Maya, no one can help us other than you, O Lord, who are the self of all, who are the Atman, who are the truth. So even the Brahma are deluded by thy Maya and consider the objective world a reality. So this is one thing of the Maya, considering objective world, the world that we perceive, perceptible world, as reality. So to be able to see it as something a three-dimensional movie. When we see a movie, three-dimensional movies are there, and you find the thing coming up, and the arrow just shooting to you, but you are not afraid. Why you are not afraid? Because you know it is just three-dimensional movie. It will not really hit you. Similarly, if we are aware that I am not this body comes in time, goes in time. Nothing is there to call this as my body. So, considering this three-dimensional objective world as what they call empirical truth, not the ultimate truth, just the Vyavaharika Satya. The truth as far as we perceive, but not the ultimate truth. Ultimate truth is uh, imperishable reality, which I am. Aham Brahmasmi. I am that Brahman, I am that consciousness which is unchangeable, which is unmodifiable. How can I be born and then grow and then die? Chaitanya has no change. That is my reality. But this perceptible world, this objective world, is the creation of Maya. So the problem is not with the creation of Maya. Problem is considering that this thing as the reality. So we have to find the way out how to negate the thought that this world is real, how to feel that this world of temporary existence, ever changing. What was today is not tomorrow. So what was yesterday is not today. This type of world, nothing is repeated in the world. We go to visit some place. So nice. Oh, they go to Lake Louise. What a wonderful, beautiful blue turquoise water, and a nice reflection of this forest and the snow in front, and this tranquil, this placid water, looking so great and so scenic, so beautiful. You forget everything seeing the scenery of Lake Louise. Now, once it happened, now next time you go there, it's not the same experience. Experience changes. Things are not repeated. Everything is short-lived. We go to Niagara Falls. First time, if you experience when you went to Niagara Falls, huge water body coming down, and the roar, and the rainbow, and the mist that is flowing, everything was unethereal. It was non-earthly, like divine something, great thing, the one of the seven wonders of the world, Niagara Falls. You go second time, some visitors come, you take, okay, this is the Niagara Falls you see. Then you see this fall water flowing. That person had that experience. Now your experience has changed. Now you go 14th time. Now different thing. Okay, I have to go again Niagara Falls, this relative have come. Only going and coming is joyful. That you talk with the beautiful Niagara Falls or with the wonder of the world, highest volume of water goes down, you talk about that. When you go there, the charm that you have, nothing there, because everything is changing, your experience is changing, your feeling is changing. The person seeing first time, that person might have the experience that you had earlier. That also depends how you enjoy the things of nature, also depends on the subtlety of your mind. You have to have the ability to grasp the beauty of nature, not that everyone grasps the same beauty of nature. Nature is so beautiful, like fall color. You see, oh yes, brown, right? Oh, so wonderful it looks, and you go on doing. Somebody said, so Swami was saying. Somebody said, oh, you see how beautiful the weather is. And someone he was doing something work on the computer, and see outside beautiful weather, nice fall colors, and all that. Oh, it's so beautiful. Can you send that me the link for that? You will not go outside and see. You want to see that also in the computer. Can you send the link of that, what beauty is outside? So how will that person appreciate the beauty of nature? So there are the different minds, subtle minds, minds, aesthetic minds. So they can really enjoy the beauty of nature. You have to be like one cannot be like Rabindranath Tagore, but close to that, such type of subtle mind, poetic mind, the artistic mind, the ethical mind, aesthetic mind, then you can enjoy the beauty of nature. But again, the enjoyment also changes. That's how this world is ever changing. our experience are changing, relationships are changing. So, but there's no harm in changing the thing. Harm is trying to have the same thing, expecting the same thing to happen, expecting the same relation will be happen. This expectation for unchanging from this changing world is the power of Maya that makes us suffer. So when we don't expect and accept the changes in nature, then we are getting over the Maya, across the Maya. We are, by God's grace, we have understood the nature of Maya. When the Maya is understood, uh, in our soul, in our mind, deeply understood, everything is changeable. And that change you accept. Your own bodily situation, your mental situation, your relationship, everything is changing. The government changes, the law change, everything changes. When you accept that and make you have the fun of that, then you live in this Maya with great fun. You enjoy. When you enjoy this fun of Maya, and yet you are not disturbed at all by the change, not disturbed at all by any change in yourself, in your body, in relationship, you are not disturbed at all, then you are Jivan Mukta. You enjoy this changing world. That can happen only when you know that you are unchangeable reality. You are that Brahman which never changes. When you have the glimpse of that, otherwise you will be always thinking yourself as aham mama, as you said, my the bodily relationship, the relationship with those have with the bodily thing. So if when we have that, then the things are difficult. So that is the brave person who can understand this objective world as not ultimate reality. It is changing reality, and the fun is in accepting the change and enjoying the change. Can we really do that? Can we enjoy? Today I'm happy, I'm enjoying. Tomorrow I'm having headache. Can I say, okay, I was happy yesterday, today headache, tomorrow it will not be there? Why to worry? Hmm. That they say that. So don't be worried for anything. Just give up your worry and say, and in one Swami told us when we were in training center, he said, don't be worried for any change or lacking something. Just say, kuch parwa nahi. Doesn't matter. Can we say doesn't matter? Today I have headache, tomorrow I have disease, I have cold and nose running. Can I say, kuch parwa nahi? It comes and goes. Agama payino anitya tangs titikshasva Bharata. That is the titiksha. Oh Bharata, that is the titiksha, a spiritual quality that you can endure that without being disturbed at all. The- that is what it is said. What is titiksha? Titiksha is enduring the thing without any thought of getting freedom from it or trying to remove it. Comes and goes, doesn't matter. So give up that thing to God. Whatever God wills, that will happen. No worries. Anything that changes come in your life, you are not disturbed upon that. You know that everything comes and goes, and there is the Lord which gives those things. And when we have body, those things will happen. When we have this enjoying, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, you are having the body and you are enjoying this nature through the body, seeing nice scenery, having nice food, one enjoying the relationship. That when you enjoy something, you have to pay tax. And this, see if you were notification, can you, I think nothing, God. So when you enjoy something, you utilize something, you use something, you have to pay the taxes. And Sri Ramakrishna used to say, this sickness of the body and disease and troubles in the life, there are all the taxes that you have to pay for using this body. And the more you think you are the body, the you pay the taxes. Everyone has to pay the tax, whether you think or not. Some who understand this body we're using, we have to pay the tax. Wise person, they will pay the tax happily. Those others will say, why I have to pay the tax? Why this suffering? Why me? They will have to pay the tax, but will all grumbling things. All in the company, the CRA will not leave anyone. They will ask tax from anyone, everyone. So those who say, so high tax, we have to pay. What is this? Government, this, that. They pay the tax. grumble, suffer, and talk about that, worried at that. Those who say it's fine, whatever is there is the law of the law of the nation, law of the country. We have to do that. They pay and enjoy. That's how the difference is there. So when we know that this world is ever changing, and I am unchanging reality, so we have little idea about my true nature, and consider this changing world as really consider and accept the changes in the world, including your body, of course. The first thing of the world that we experience is our body, then is the outside world. So changes in our body, when we accept, then we are slowly going beyond Maya. But this acceptance of the changes, of the difficulties, of the challenges, of the disease, of death, income, this death that is approaching, accepting all those, it can happen only by the grace of God. This strength comes by the grace of God. That's why this connecting with the Yogesha Krishna, with Yogatma Krishna, Yoga Nirvinna Krishna, Yoga Sambhava Krishna, that is so important if we want to live this very short life. This we are born, we grew up, worked, and now it's going. So one, I met a young man today, and he was studying engineering. And I said, which year? Yours is second year, just you went. He said, no, Swami, I'm in fifth year, almost complete. I said, 5 years passed. Life is going. Death is approaching fast. It's all, death is coming through like 407, is driving fast, 120, and we think we are stable, not changing. And what is that foolishness? What you call that other than the foolish? What you call other than the mudhamati? Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudhamate. If you don't connect with God, you are really fool. You think you are same, but so much changes are going. Death, disease, old age are approaching to you in great speed. The more you get older, every year it is so different. They say when you are the difference between the age 20 and 21, or between 40 and 41, you are getting older. But that is very little change. But the change when you are from 80 to 81, huge change is 1 year. And from 70 to 71, not that, but that is also great change, not like between 40 and 41. Faster changes, 407, 120, there is no police catching. They're driving 120, 130, 150. They all, this old age, disease, all this coming, approaching fast. Get ready for that. Let that happen to body. That is the law. When you accept the law of CRA, law of the country, and pay the CRA taxes, why don't you accept the law of nature? That you grow old, you get disease, you die. Why don't you accept that you die? Means the body dies because we are identified with the body. If we want to be freed from death, there is a way out. You want to be immortal? Just know that you are immortal, you are not body. That is the way only to get the immortality. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya will not happen in this for this body, it will happen for you who are really immortal, but thinking I am subject to death. So remove that ignorance. Know thyself, and you are immortal. Always you are immortal, and you are immortal. So it is all about the knowledge, true knowledge of who we are, that we can conquer the fear of death, conquer fear of disease, conquer fear of suffering. So it can be done. It can be done. It's doable. So that's what Uddhava said to Sri Krishna. O Lord, even among gods, I find no other teacher of the self, self means Atman, than thee, who art self-effulgent, the truth, the Atman. You see how many qualities he goes on saying about Krishna, never ending. For Brahma and other embodied beings whom we know of are deluded by thy Maya and consider the objective world as reality. In Gaudapada Karika, it says that this world is unreal. And what is the logic given? That world is unreal because it is perceivable. because you experience the world. That's why it is unreal. Anything that we experience, that we perceive, that we see, touch, hear, that is unreal. So, what is reality? Which cannot be perceived, which cannot be touched, which just is the Brahman, the truth, the consciousness, Satchit Ananda. That is. So, that alone is everlasting reality. And this is not real because it is perceivable. So Brahma also under the delusion like that. So let's go to next verse, verse 18. Tasmad Bhavantam Anavadyam Param Sarvagyamishwaram Akunta Vikunta Dhishnyam निर्विन्नधीरहम निर्विन्नधीरहमुह वृजिना वितप्तो नारायणम नरसकम शरणम प्रपद्ये. I take refuge in Narayana. What type of Narayana? Narasakam Narayana, the friend of humanity, that Narayana, Narayana that remains, lives in heaven alone, and not that Narayana, Narayana who is the friend of human being, Narayana who descends to this world as the human being to remove the suffering of ignorance and of the human being. To that Narayana, Sharanam Prapadde, I take refuge. What type of thing? Therefore, afflicted by sins and dispirited, do I take refuge in thee who art now the quality of Sri Krishna. So I take refuge in thee who art tasma, therefore, because only you can guide me. Bhavantam, O Lord. Anavadya. What are your qualities? Anavadya. Anavadya means who cannot be slandered, who is unimpeachable, who cannot be degraded by any word. There is no defect in anyone. Anyone cannot say anything bad about you. You are unimpeachable. So that is your thing. Your everything is just perfect and good in you. So, Anavadyam Anantaparam, you are unchangeable reality, infinite reality, unchanging infinite reality. And Sarvagyam, you are all knowing. Nothing is there that is not known to you. What Sri Ramakrishna said for this? God even hears the anklet in the legs, in the feet of ant. Ants' feet are so small. Suppose there is anklet, how small that will be. And that also makes sound, and God hears that. So God hears and knows everything, and everything in the heart, every thought is known by God. So Sri Ramakrishna himself says, I can I can see that your mind as an object kept in the glass case is seen through the eyes. I can see your mind like that. So that is the quality of Sarvagnya, knowing everything, that God is Sarvagya. And you are Sarvagya, O Lord. So please do something for this. And this Ishwaram, you are Sarvagya Ishwaram, all knowing Lord. Akunta Vikuntya Dhishnyam. Akunta Vikuntya means unchanging Lord, that limitless, changeless. You are the who dwellest in the changeless. Akunta Vikunta is changeless. And what is there? Dhishnyam. That is the Vaikuntya. You live in your abode which is unchanging. Everything is changing. Brahma's creation is changing. But your abode, O Lord, is unchanging. It is not affected by time. Time, spaces, causation has no effect there. Now, Vaikuntha, as we think, is the dwelling place of Vishnu. All there is joy and peace, and he is there in the Ananta Sheshanaga. Like that is our idea that Vaikuntha is some location in this universe. That Vaikuntha means, but where the, the, the state of Vishnu is the Vaikuntha, where Lord resides. The Lord, the Brahman, the truth, the divinity, it is unchangeable divinity. Vaikuntha is the state of that Vishnu. It is not some location in this creation. It is beyond. If it is in the creation, that cannot be akunta vikunta dishna. That cannot be beyond time. Everything in creation is within time. So when it is beyond time, akunta vikunta dishna, so that is beyond this creation, beyond Maya. There you reside, residing there, you have come. So there can be no one better teacher than you, and you are infinite and eternal, the Lord, and you are dwellest in changeless Vaikuntha, who are the supreme being Narayana and the friend of man. So I take refuge in thee, and please give us knowledge for the people who do not have that sannyasi qualities, who cannot detach from the world and yet want to connect with you. Give some suggestion for those people. You are the friend of humanity. You are not the friend of only those who are Jivan Mukta. You are Surit Sarva Bhutanam, Suridam Sarva Bhutanam. Please tell that. So, thus, Uddhava implores to Krishna. Now, what the Krishna will say, for in that category come most of us, that people who want to be connected with God and yet do not have that capacity, do not have that wisdom, cannot really break the barrier of reality and unreality, cannot always think of the reality, cannot really feel this world to be unreal. We cannot think that. We are bound, we are egoistic. To say reality, we are mudamati. That's why for us the solution is Shankara gave Bhaja Govindam is the solution for us. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. Think of God, repeat God's name, repeat, sing the glory of God, Bhaja Govindam. Otherwise, there's no way. Prapte sannite marane, nahi nahi rakshati dukriya karane. All your knowledge, your study, your grammar, your achievement, your success, what will that do when the death approaches? So be prepared for this coming death. It's not very far. 5 years gone seems like 1 year, and it's 5 years already. So you don't even realize that how the time flies. So be aware that we are getting old, approaching. Have we got that substance for which the human life was made? Are we progressing towards the God realization? Are we progressing? Have we become little wiser? Are we getting wiser every day? Are we able to remove our weaknesses of our mind, like jealousy, hatred, or greed, or or thinking this world to be always real, always disturbed by the things of the world of I and mind? Are we progressing in that direction? We have to look to it. Otherwise, time will change. 5 year passing will look like 1 year, and suddenly will the death will come, and we are not prepared for that. The story that I often told, that one Vaidya, the Indian doctor, was there, and he was just past the doctor, and how to go. He was not, there were other famous doctors, so people didn't consult him. He was not getting money, so he prayed to Yama. So Yama, after a long prayer, Yama was happy and said, "What is the matter? Why are you praying to me? People pray to Brahma, some pray to Shiva. Why you are praying to me?" He said, "Yama, I'm in problem." It's what? So I treat the patient and he dies, and nobody is inviting me, nobody is coming to me, prescription. So how will I eat? How will I keep my family? So then what do you want of me? So he says, "Can you do one favor?" So whenever I go to some patient, just please, if that person is to die, just you come near that person's feet. And when the person will survive, come near its head. So when I see you sitting near its feet, then I know that that person will die. I will not prescribe any medicine. And when I see you are there, when I pray, you come and sit near his head, then I'll prescribe medicine. The person was very sick and dying, but I'll say, "Don't worry, I'm there. I will cure you. I'll give the medicine, and I know you are at the head. You will not take him." So he gets cured. And really that happened. Yama was happy, tathastu. And then one person was very sick, almost dying. He saw Yama is at the head. He gave medicine. Don't worry, you'll be cured. And the person got cured. Now this fame started going. Oh, that person can save this doctor, young doctor. He can save person even from death. And he gives medicine is so perfect. The people just got saved. Whenever he saw Yama coming towards feet, he said, no, it's last case. I will not give medicine. He will not treat that person. And that person will die. So like that it happened. Finally, 5 years went like 1 year. And the person got old, having a lot of riches, money, and all that. Then finally, that person saw Yama standing near his feet. Then he understood, oh, I didn't know death has approached. Really, for a 750 kilometer per hour, it is coming. I didn't know at all. When the time went, when the life was finished. So he realized that death is here. Then in that he had become old and really frail and weak. In that condition, that person turned 180 degrees. So Yama was standing near his feet. Now Yama became near his head. Now he cannot take. And Yama turned slowly, walked and came near his feet. That person again turns 180 degrees very fast. In that condition, so fast, Yama was surprised. How he gets so much energy in this condition? You cannot even turn yourself in that weak you are. You are old, frail. So he said, Yama Radha Dhiraja. So, when you gave me that prescription that you told me when I'm towards head, I will not take. When you are towards feet, I will take. From that day, I started treating the patient. And that day, without fail, 24/7, 365, I've been practicing this turning around 180 degrees on bed before going to sleep. I always turn around for like 100 times I'm turning. And that practice has made me like this, so you cannot take me now itself. So every day he used to practice this turning on the bed. After lying down, 108 degree turns one way, 108 degree again. And like this 100 times he would to do this practice. So we don't need to do that practice. We don't need another practice of Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. And death cannot come. When death comes, take this body. Yama, take this body. And I go to Narayana. Narayana is there. God is there for me. I merge with God. Aham Brahmasmi. What do I fear of death? What is you're there? You come towards feet, come towards head, doesn't matter for me. Like that, strength will come when we learn from the approaching death and we get prepared ourselves for that sort of knowledge through devotion and knowledge. So, what Krishna answers to Uddhava about his questions about how a person not having so much of vivek and vairagya can have yoga, can have connection to God, we'll read that in our next Uddhava Gita class. Thank you very much. Now the closing chants. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishnarpanamastu Jananim Saradam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Thank you very much and good night to all of you. Let us see you next scripture class. Next scripture class next week will be on the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Good night.